Wrapping up day 2 here at SEC Football Media Days. I'm Vince Farrar alongside Jimmy Himes, co-host of Sports Talk. All our coverage on our central page at 991 thesportsanimal.com. Close to 60 podcasts of everything that's happened in the first 2 days. Jimmy, we hit the midway point. Of course, the highlight was Tennessee today. Josh Heupel, Velus Jones Jr., Alontae Taylor. Just big picture, how did you think the Tennessee contingent did?
I thought they did really well. Josh Heupel hit on a lot of points. He was asked about the NCAA cloud of the program. He said, look, we've been honest with our players, honest with the recruits, and dealing with it. He said he continued to call it a speed bump. I thought Velus Jones did a really nice job. He was asked about the speed of receiver, and he really talked glowingly about it. And somebody said, well, who's the fastest receiver? He said, I'm never going to admit anybody's faster than I am. And also with Alontae Taylor, now he's a part of the leadership program. We went to Belize and said it was a tremendous experience with him. He also said, when I asked him, what are your expectations about the defense? He said, our defense, we want to be the number one defense in the country. We want to lead the nation in interceptions. That's coming a long way from where they were last year. But he said that was his goal. But I thought the Tennessee players and Coach Heupel represented well.
Yeah, one thing that stood out about Alontae Taylor is I asked him about name, image, and likeness and how he is handling that, how he's maybe guiding his teammates through this uncharted territory. And he said, well, you know what, I've had some opportunities, but I haven't taken any of them. And he said, I'm worried about my team first and foremost. And that was in line with what JT Daniels had said earlier in the day, that he said, hey, I'm not worrying about name, image, and likeness right now, and a lot of my teammates are the same way. I thought that was interesting that some players saying, hey, I'm putting that on the shelf, it's not my priority.
I thought it was too. So you're right, it's not their priority. The priority is to try to win football games, to do the best they can for their team. The other Georgia player, Jordan Davis, told me the same thing. I'm not going down that road. And think about it, these are the most high-profile players typically on the team that you would think would cash in on name, image, and likeness, but their priorities are a little bit different. Focus on football and try to do a good job there without trying to cash in. Now, of course, there'll be some players that will cash in and do a really nice job with it, but I did think it was interesting that several players that we talked to have said, no, not going down that road. I'm going to focus on football.
Another connection with JT Daniels, with Velus Jones Jr., former teammates at USC, and then also with Tennessee. Both Velus Jones Jr. and Josh Heupel very complimentary of Joe Milton at quarterback. That's obviously been a big topic of conversation. We talked to Josh Heupel, Velus Jones Jr. one-on-one, and Eric talked to Alontae Taylor one-on-one. What did you make of the conversation about the quarterbacks?
Well, I think first off with Heupel, he said they're going in to the camp. It's completely wide open. He said, I'm not kidding about that. He said, look, that's the way it is. He did compliment Milton, his physical abilities. He also said he was a smart guy.
Right.
Now, the question mark was whether he'd be able to come in and run the system. We still don't know that because he has not had that opportunity to do so. But he complimented Milton's arm. He complimented his size, his feet, his ability to escape, his accuracy, which we didn't always hear about when he was at Michigan. Still, there's a lot to be determined between now and then. I did ask Heupel, how much can your quarterbacks improve from the end of spring to August 4th when camp starts? He said a tremendous amount. It could be in the weight room. It could be building the chemistry with throwing to the receivers during their workouts. So he thinks quarterbacks can make tremendous strides if they apply themselves from the end of spring to the start of camp.
And then morning practices was a conversation. Jimmy blogged about it, 991thesportsanimal.com. That's also something you can get on that central page, videos, and there'll be a lot more that'll be posted a little bit later on in the rest of the week as well. All right, let's just quick hit on the rest of the teams. Georgia was going this morning around the same time as Tennessee. Just a quick thought on anything you heard from Georgia.
Kirby Smart said that he was more proud of the things his team did off the field than on the field. You won't be saying that in December, because if they're not having a really good season, you'll be hearing about what in the world have you lost 3-14?
Fans aren't saying that. They're worried about the on the field.
I thought that was kind of interesting from him. I didn't hear much from Kentucky, to be honest with you. We were focused so much on Tennessee. I did see Lane Kiffin. He walked away and he said, hey, I didn't make your list. I said, no, I requested you, and you weren't provided. But then he brought his son, Knox.
Right.
And Knox is growing up, right? So I said, Knox, are you the guy that's actually sending out those tweets instead of your dad? No. I ain't anything to do with that. I thought this was interesting also. Matt Corral, the quarterback, was asked about the tweets from his head coach, and he said, next question, which would imply he's not really thrilled about, or he's jealous that Lane Kiffin's got a better wit. Maybe that's it.
That could be it. Hey, those plays are going into Matt Corral. You better like what Lane Kiffin is doing. Call some more passing plays. But also, Lane Kiffin said, hey, when I was here the first time, much different 12 years ago when he was Tennessee's head coach. He was like, I barely even remember that stage. And then also on Kentucky, Darian Kennard is a Knoxville kid, so that was interesting. And then Josh Paschal, their defensive end, he told a great story about J-Lo when he was on the Today Show and he crossed paths. J-Lo was coming the other direction and she winked at him. And he said, man, I hope that was real because I felt that. So
Melted.
yeah, absolutely. Who wouldn't? So anyway, that was the rest of the teams. Coming up, day 3 tomorrow, it'll be Alabama paired up with Vanderbilt, Mississippi State paired up with Texas A&M. Be interesting. We'll get to see Mike Leach, see if he says anything crazy. Lane Kiffin really didn't deliver on that today. Maybe Mike Leach will, and we'll have complete coverage on our website, and of course on Sports Talk as well, and littered with reports throughout the day as well. And then we continue to do one-on-ones. All of our guys have been able to deliver those one-on-ones. So unmatched coverage of SEC Football Media Days. Hashtag SECMD21. For Jimmy Himes from Sports Talk, I'm Vince Ferrara. Thank you so much. Be sure to keep track of the rest of our coverage from SEC Football Media Days and all of our great sponsors, which you can find on our central page. I'm Vince Ferrara. Thanks for watching.